All right, Lakers Nation, let's get into it because the rumor mill is heating up and Los Angeles is officially on the hunt for a big man. Or better yet, too. With free agency and off-season trade talks swirling around, reports are pointing toward the Lakers being linked to two realistic center targets as they aim to shore up that crucial position. And let's be honest, the need is massive. The team doesn't just need a backup big. They need a legitimate starting caliber center who can anchor the paint, eat up minutes, protect the rim, and maybe even stretch the floor a bit. This isn't just about plugging a hole. It's about filling a foundational role for a team that still sees itself in the title-contending conversation. Now, the Lakers do have the 55th pick in the upcoming draft, and yes, they could take a flyer on a developmental center. That's always an option. And look, it's not impossible for a late second-round big man to surprise people. Every year we see one or two young players come out of nowhere and make an impact right away. But let's keep it real, the odds are slim. More often than not, those types of players are long-term projects. You're not drafting a kid at 55 and handing him 20 minutes a night in the NBA. Not unless he's some kind of once-in-a-decade outlier. So sure, bring in a young center if you want, stash him as your third stringer, maybe let him cook in the G League and see what he becomes. But if you're serious about competing now, you need experience in production. That brings us to the two names currently floating around in the Lakers' orbit, Luke Kornet and Goga Bitadze. Two very different players, but both could serve specific purposes on this roster. Let's start with Kornet. Standing at a legit 7'1" and weighing in around 250 pounds, Kornet is a stretch five in the most literal sense. He doesn't give you the muscle in the post or the rim protection you'd get from traditional center, but he's a high IQ player, knows how to space the floor, and could be a great fit in a second unit role. Think of him as the kind of guy who won't hurt you in limited minutes, can step out and knock down a three, and won't get lost in team defensive schemes. Now, if Kornet were brought in as a backup, that would be totally fine. In fact, it might be ideal. He gives the bench unit a different dynamic, opens up the lane for slashers, and doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective. But where things get interesting is with Goga Bitadze. That's the name that has a lot of Lakers fans talking, and for good reason. Goga is just 25 years old. He'll turn 26 in July, and he's coming off a solid season with the Orlando Magic. He's got great size at 6'11", 250 pounds, and brings a nice mix of mobility and physicality. In other words, he's not just a big body. He can actually move his feet, play in space, and bring some verticality as a lob threat. He might not be a household name, but don't let that fool you. He's a guy who, in the right system and with the right opportunity, could blossom into a quality starting center. The Lakers should absolutely be taking a hard look at him. He checks a lot of boxes. He's young enough to be part of the future, but experienced enough to contribute right away. He played 70 games last season, started 42 of them, and averaged just over 20 minutes per game. That's not nothing. That's a guy who's been in the rotation, has played real minutes in meaningful games, and has proven he can hang with NBA talent. And when you look at his production in that limited role, 7 points, nearly 7 rebounds, 2 assists, over a block, and a steal per game, it gets even more intriguing. Those are solid per-minute numbers. Now let's talk about efficiency. Goga shot over 61% from the field last season. That's elite efficiency, even for a center. He doesn't force bad shots, he plays within himself, and he finishes around the rim. And while he's not a stretch five in the traditional sense, he has shown flashes of being able to step out and hit the occasional three. He's not a floor spacer yet. Career average of around 23% from deep on less than 1 attempt per game. But that number has room to grow. You give him a consistent role, let him get comfortable taking open looks, and who knows? Maybe he becomes a reliable shooter from the corners. Maybe he doesn't, but the potential is there. Let's also consider his contract situation. Goga is owed just over $7.5 million next season, which makes him a very tradable asset. You're not breaking the bank to bring him in. The bigger question is what Orlando would want in return. The Magic have an overload of big men, and they're going to have to make some decisions. Bitadze is heading into a contract year, so if Orlando isn't planning on paying him long-term, this might be the perfect moment for them to get value before losing him for nothing. And for the Lakers, that's an opportunity worth exploring. There's also the historical angle here. The Lakers have a track record of scooping up bigs from Orlando. Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard. Now, no one's putting Goga on that level. Let's not get carried away. But maybe, just maybe, he could be the next in that line of under-the-radar pickups who thrive in LA when given the right role and the right support system. If you extrapolate his numbers over 36 minutes, Goga projects as a guy who could average something like 13 points, 12 rebounds, including over 4 offensive boards, 3.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and 2.5 blocks per game. That's not a fluke. That's not wishful thinking. That's based on actual production. And again, this is all in just over 20 minutes a night. So imagine what he could do playing 30 minutes alongside someone like LeBron James or Anthony Davis. Imagine the lobs, the putbacks, the easy buckets coming off drive-and-dish situations. You wouldn't have to do anything fancy. Just roll hard to the rim, finish strong, clean up the glass, and defend like a maniac. Speaking of defense, that's where Goga could really shine. He's not just a shot blocker. He's a smart positional defender. He knows how to use his body, contest without fouling, and rotate on time. He may not have the highlight reel blocks of a Mitchell Robinson or the switchability of Bam Adebayo, but he gets the job done. He's also not a liability from the free throw line, shooting around 66% for his career. Not great, but not terrible either. You're not automatically subbing him out in crunch time, which is huge. But let's talk fit. How would he actually look next to the Lakers core? Honestly, pretty seamless. He doesn't need the ball. He can thrive in a low-usage role, and he brings exactly what this roster lacks: interior toughness, rebounding, rim protection, and a bit of offensive juice. You pair him with someone like Luke Kornet off the bench, or maybe even go after a more seasoned veteran like Clint Capella, and suddenly the Lakers have a legit 1-2 punch at center. You've got versatility, depth, and the ability to adapt to different matchups. And here's the thing. The Lakers don't have to mortgage the future to make this happen. Goga's contract is manageable. He's young. He's motivated. And if the front office plays this right, they might even be able to sign him to a team-friendly extension, something like 4 years, $60 million. That gives him long-term security and gives the Lakers stability at the position for years to come. Think about it. You lock in a young, starting-caliber center for the price of a role player in today's market. That's smart business. So the question becomes, what are the Lakers waiting for? The market is going to move fast. Other teams are going to see the same upside in Goga. The time to act is now. This is the type of calculated move that contenders make. You don't always need to swing for the fences with a big name. Sometimes the best moves are the ones that make your team better in subtle but meaningful ways. Goga Bitadze could be that kind of move. Under the radar, low risk, high reward. And again, this is not just about one guy. This is about building a front court rotation that can actually carry the load over an 82-game season and into the playoffs. You can't keep expecting Anthony Davis to bang down low against the Nikola Jokic's and Joel Embiid's of the world every night without help. You need bodies. You need length. You need toughness. And you need options. Whether it's Goga as the starter and Kornet as the backup, or Goga and a different veteran presence, the formula is clear. Get bigger, get tougher, get smarter. Because at the end of the day, championships are still won in the paint. They always have been. You can shoot all the threes you want, but if you can't rebound, protect the rim, and finish inside, you're not getting past the second round. The Lakers know that. The front office knows that. The fans know that. Now it's just about execution. Make the call. Pull the trigger. Bring in the reinforcements. And who knows? Maybe in a year we'll be looking back and saying this was the move that put the Lakers back in the title picture. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, an intriguing buzz is stirring in NBA circles, centering on the Los Angeles Lakers and a potential seismic shift in their roster strategy. Sources close to the team hint at a bold master plan crafted by Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka, one that could redefine the franchise's future and shake up the league's landscape. The rumor? The Lakers might be considering trading their superstar, LeBron James, to orchestrate a blockbuster move that involves acquiring 3 new players. This notion alone is enough to send shockwaves through the basketball world. LeBron, a cornerstone of the Lakers since 2018, has been instrumental in bringing a championship back to LA in 2020 and remains one of the most influential players on and off the court. Yet, whispers suggest that Pelinka's vision is looking beyond the present star power, focusing instead on constructing a more balanced, dynamic squad that could sustain success long-term. The proposed plan reportedly hinges on leveraging LeBron's immense trade value. By moving James, the Lakers could free up significant salary cap space, enabling them to chase multiple high-impact players in free agency or via trades. The aim would be to build a more versatile and younger core, one less reliant on a single superstar and better suited to adapt to the evolving NBA style. While the details remain murky and nothing is confirmed, insiders believe Pelinka is weighing options carefully. The front office might be assessing potential trade partners willing to pay a premium for LeBron's talent and marketability. The strategy would not only bring new talent, but potentially reshape the Lakers into a more competitive unit for the upcoming seasons. Of course, this idea is fraught with risks. LeBron's leadership and on-court brilliance are irreplaceable assets, and any move away from him would mark the end of an era. Fans and analysts alike are divided. Some see this as a desperate gamble that could backfire, while others view it as a necessary evolution in a league increasingly dominated by youth and versatility. As of now, the Lakers have not issued any official statements regarding these speculations. However, the mere possibility of such a bold maneuver highlights the intense pressure on the franchise to regain its dominance in a fiercely competitive Western Conference. Keep your eyes peeled. If Pelinka's master plan unfolds, it could herald one of the most dramatic shakeups in recent NBA history. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.